Brahmin left is a term coined by a French, I think he's an economist called Thomas Piketty, very famous. And what that's part of a literature that shows that in the decades after World War II, this was true in, again, Britain and America. The left was focused on in the UK in the Labour Party, and it really centered blue collar economics and creating a stable life for blue collar families. And then after 1970, both in your country and in mine, it was really my generation of hippies that did this. We came up and we were more interested in feminism, which is where I started out, racism, and environment, what are often called the post-material issues. I just call them culture and climate. And the shift from blue collar economic issues to these culture and climate issues meant that the working class was kind of orphaned. And political science shows that that there was what they call a representation gap. There was a very specific group of voters, middle status voters. Their political preferences are economically very progressive, but socially quite conservative. And there was no center left party or center right party. There was no party that had that combination. And so this group of voters was kind of orphaned for a few decades until the rise of the far right. And what the far right did is it combined progressive economics promises, not delivering, by the way, but at least it was talking about getting people jobs. And with more conservative cultural positions. And the Brahmin left term represents what's called the post-material shift, that shift from a focus on blue-collar economics to a shift on climate and culture. And it's not that, for example, that blue-collar people don't care, are climate deniers. You notice again the scorn. They're disagree with me because they're stupid. It's that for elites in the United States, climate change is their second or third highest political priority. But for the average American, it's 17th. And that's best summarized by actually a yellow vests sign. Remember the yellow vests movement in France? One of these working class movements, one of the signs said, Macron cares about the end of the world, but we're more focused on the end of the month. That's why you have the priority difference on climate change between elites and non-elites, which again, the Brahmin left interprets as climate deniers. These people are just ignorant. Again, that scorn.